Okay guys, for this gnome, you're going to need a pattern, you're going to need some fleece fabric, some craft foam, some faux fur, you're going to need some pipe cleaners, something for his nose, a couple little tennis shoes, some decorations, 2 little bitty pine cones, 2 corks, and a bigger pine cone, and some decorations for his hat. Alright, let's get started. First of all, I took a pine cone that's 4.5 by 3.5. Try to find one that's got a smooth bottom. If you don't find one with a smooth bottom, you will have to build it up. This one had a hole in the bottom of it, so I'm just taking some craft foam and I'm sticking it in there. And I'm just going to build it up till it's flat on the bottom. Okay, and you can get pine cones just about anywhere right now. There's a great time of year to get them. They're starting to put them out at Etsy. They're putting them out at Hobby Lobby. You can get them at Michael's. They're pretty easy to find. All right, we're going to go ahead and set that aside. We're going to go ahead and build his arms. We're taking 2 little pine cones and we are putting them at the very edge. You don't need to do any kind of seam on this one because it's fleece and it's not going to ravel. So you don't have to fold up the edges at all. Just put the glue right at the edge and we're going to put the pine cone about 1/3 of it inside of the sleeve and the 2/3 of it sticking out. Then we're going to take our pipe cleaner and we're just going to bead a glue down one side, attach our pipe cleaner. And then we're going to roll these up. And these are going to be a little bit loose hands because obviously the pine cone is thick and the pipe cleaner is not. So you are going to have a little bit of a looser hand. So just roll those up. Use the use the pine cone as a guide, and then we're just going to fold that over and glue that flat. And then we're going to do the same thing for the other. Just add a little bit of glue, glue the pipe cleaner, and then glue the pine cone all the way around. And then attach some glue just to finish that sleeve out. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and build his hat. We're just going to open that fabric up where we had cut it out on the fold, and we are going to glue these 2 sides together. Now make sure that you add enough glue because we're going to turn it right side out here in a little bit and you do not want it to come apart. So make sure that you do add enough glue and then we're going to let it dry. Fine, we're going to go ahead and build our beard and we're going to cut it at 2¼ inches wide by 2½ inches in length. And I'm just taking a pin, drawing around my beard, and then I'm going to cut it out. And we are going to cut the backing only. Don't cut through the fur, just the backing only. If you cut through the fur too, your beard will not look right. So just make sure you are just real careful just to cut the backing only. And then we're going to take a comb, we're going to comb all that excess hair out and set that aside. We're going to take our 2 pipe cleaners and we're going to wrap that around the top part of our pine cone. And we're going to go around twice just to make sure that stays in there. And that's what's going to hold our hat up. And then we're going to pull it up through one of the cone pieces there, and we are going to pull it so it stands up straight, and we're just going to glue that in. Just kind of glue it towards so it comes straight out the top, and then just hold that down really good till it dries. While that's drying, we're going to go ahead and do the hat. We're going to just cuff it up 1 inch, and this is going to give us a nice finished out edge when we actually put it onto the gnome. Just fold it up 1 inch and we're going to spot glue it. I probably put only maybe about 5 little drops of glue. Don't over glue it because you might be able to see where you glued it. Okay, once you get exactly where you want it, just add just like a little dollop there. Not a lot, just a little bit. And get that glued around. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and turn it completely right side out. And then I'm going to take a bone folder and stick it up into the tip there just to make the tip come out straight. Just be careful not to poke through your hat. Just kind of carefully do that. Okay, then we're going to take our pipe cleaner and we're going to fold it down about 2 inches and kind of twist it off so we don't have a sharp edge at the top of it. And then we're going to attach our beard, and we're going to put our beard right at the top edge of the pine cone and just add a little bit of glue there. And then we're going to glue it completely down to the pine cone. Just get it glued in good at the top, and then we're going to come down and do the bottom part of it. And you don't have to use a lot of glue because it'll stick really good to the pine cone. Just a little bit on each side. Just not too much glue because you might be able to see all that glue through your pine cone. All right, now we're going to go ahead and attach his arms, and we're going to put his arms almost down to the bottom part of his body because we are going to attach his legs. And we're just going to twist that around the top part of that other pipe cleaner, and we're going to do the same thing for both sides. And these will all be hidden by the hat. Just make sure that your seams are facing the pine cone. You don't want them to be showing. And just kind of twist that around there so that they stay in place. And then that hat's what's going to hold those arms down. Okay, go ahead and take your hat, pull it on down. And you're probably only going to come maybe about a ½ inch below the top part of his beard. And that's where we're going to put his nose. So just you can pull it down farther in the back. But in the front, probably only about a ½ inch below the edge of the beard. And get his arms where you want them. And then we're going to glue those in. We're just going to spot glue those in. Starting with the back of the hat, we're going to glue it down to the pine cone just a little bit. And then we're going to put a little bit of glue just up underneath the hat by the arm just to hold that hat down a little bit. You don't need a lot of glue on this one because the pine cone is going to hold that hat in anyway. Okay, we're going to take his nose and we're just going to lift it up and we're going to add it right there. It's a little bit of glue at the top part there and then glue that down. And then we're going to attach the hat to the nose with a little dollop of glue as well. Just stick it up underneath there just a little bit. And we're going to add some glue up there. Okay, I started with some white tennis shoes, and then I'm going to show you real quickly how I've turned them into orange tennis shoes. Just tape off all the plastic piece or the rubber pieces on the shoes, the toe, and then around the edges. Just tape it down really good with painter's tape. And then I took an orange tulip marker, a fabric marker, and I just started coloring it in. And it turned out really good on these tennis shoes. It colors it in really well. And you probably only need to go back, maybe I went back over it maybe twice, and that was pretty much it. Just make sure you don't have to do all the inside and everything because that's going to be sealed up. Then go ahead and take your painter's tape off once you get all that done, and then get as close to the edge as you can on the pieces that you missed. Then you will need to let these dry for 24 hours before you use them. Okay, we're going to go ahead and build our shoes. We're going to take our cork, we're going to put it inside of our shoe, and we're going to take a black marker and mark right at the edge where that cork is. Because we want to make sure that that shoe and that cork are flush together so that when I put our little guy on top of them. Take your scissors, just twist your cork as you're cutting it, and they'll cut right through it. All right, now we're going to go ahead and we are going to glue them into the shoe. Just add a little bit of glue and then just push those on inside and push them flush. And I'm going to do the same thing for the other one. Just make sure you get enough glue to hold that cork in there really good because we want them to stay. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and we're going to lace up our shoes and tie them in a little bow. And then we're going to get ready to start putting the rest of the shoe together. And make sure that your laces are out of the way on this next step because you don't want to glue your laces to this next piece. Okay, we're going to take a little bit of glue and just kind of put it in the back, kind of make it flush with the shoe. Push that cork down in there so there's no gaps. Okay, then we're going to just go ahead and we're going to take our 1-inch circles and we're just going to glue them to the top. And that way you don't see the cork. It's the pine cone. It'll be kind of blended with the color of the pine cone. And just put that on top of there. Okay, then we're going to put our shoes side by side. And we're going to add some glue. And we're going to not go all the way to the edge of the shoes on the right side and the left side. Make sure that your rights are on the right and lefts are on the left too. But just add enough glue, probably about 3/4 of the way on each one. And then you're going to hold your gnome on top of that. And you're going to hold it until it dries completely. Make sure he's standing up straight. And you might have to hold him for a few minutes, but make sure you do not skip on this step. It's real important that this dries. Okay, now we're going to just embellish him. We're going to go ahead and put a little sunflower on him. I got those at Hobby Lobby. It's made of felt. Then I'm going to add a little bee to his little flower. And then I'm going to add a leaf to his hat. And if you want to stick around to the end of the video, I'm going to show you exactly how to make these little leaf embellishments. And you can make all kinds of embellishments with this little technique. So stick around if you want to know how to do that. Otherwise, he's a pretty easy little gnome to make. So I'm going to add a little bit of wheat to his hand. And that's pretty much it. If you like the video, hit like. If you want to see future videos, hit subscribe. If you want to be notified when I have a video, hit the bell. Thanks for watching. Okay, if you want to learn how to make your own embellishments using silicone molds, just take a silicone mold. I got this at Joann's. It's a leaf mold. I'm just going to show you on one. Go ahead and fill the cavity up really well. Make sure that you get into every corner of this. Get it in there good. And you can make your embellishments half as thick as the mold is, all the way to the top. It's just a good, quick way to use a silicone mold to make your own embellishments. And you're just going to take a hot glue gun and glue it in. Don't skip this step. You need to make sure that you do this, and that will smooth it all out. That will make sure it goes into all the little crevices. Okay, then we're going to set it aside, and we're just going to let it dry. After it dries, just going to go ahead and pop it out like you would an ice cube. And then all we're going to do is we're going to paint it. I painted my leaf probably 2 times, paint the back and the front. And nothing to it. Pretty easy. All right. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.